Welcome to the 5-Minute English Vocabulary Podcast. My name is Herbert Lee, and I'll be your host. Now you can easily improve your vocabulary without memorizing long lists of boring words, and still develop a powerful command of English. You'll learn the origin of words, or etymology, told as easy-to-remember stories. You'll also hear some jokes, and learn some idioms as well. Season 2, Episode 26, Idioms with Animals, Part 2. Here are some idioms with wild animals. Idioms with wild animals are commonly used in everyday language, often as metaphors or similes to convey an idea or emotion. One such idiom is the elephant in the room, which refers to an obvious problem or issue that everyone knows about, but no one wants to talk about. Another popular idiom is the lion's share, which means the largest portion of something. This phrase comes from Aesop's fable of the lion and the other animals who went hunting together and agreed to divide the spoils equally, but ended up giving the lion the biggest share because he was stronger and more powerful. Other idioms with wild animals include: a leopard can't change its spots, meaning someone can't change their inherent nature. Like a fish out of water describes someone who feels uncomfortable in a particular situation. So here are 5 more idioms with animals. Sly as a fox is an expression used to describe someone who is cunning and quick-witted. Foxes are known for their intelligence and craftiness, which makes this idiom very fitting. Busy as a bee is another common expression that references wildlife. This phrase describes someone who is constantly active and hard-working, much like the diligent bees who tirelessly collect pollen and honey. Black sheep is used to describe someone who stands out from the rest of their family or group in a negative way, similar to how a black sheep contrasts with the white ones in a flock. Horse sense refers to practical wisdom and good judgment, which supposedly comes from horses who were once relied upon for transportation and work before modern technology took over. In conclusion, idioms with animals are a common part of everyday language. They have become so ingrained in our speech that we often use them without realizing it. These expressions can add color and humor to your conversations, but they can also be confusing for those who are not familiar with them. It's important to note that some animal idioms may be considered offensive or insensitive in certain situations. It's always better to use discretion and consider your audience before using these expressions. Additionally, understanding the origin and meanings behind animal idioms can help us better appreciate their significance in learning the language and culture. Overall, animal idioms serve as a reminder of humanity's long-standing relationship with nature. Whether we are describing someone as sly as a fox or stubborn as a mule, these expressions reflect our observations and interactions with the natural world around us. It's important to remember that you learn idioms mainly so that you can understand when you hear them. Trying to learn idioms to use in your daily conversation is very challenging. Usually, you try to use new vocabulary words quickly so you can put them into your long-term memory. However, idioms must be used only in the appropriate situation. Trying to use an idiom that you just learned in the wrong place will make you look silly. And instead of making your English more colorful, it will just confuse your listener. Learn to listen for idioms in other people's conversation to better understand how they are used correctly. It's also important to learn idioms one by one, and then not to mix them up. In the case of animal idioms, it's very easy to mix up the animals, and when you do that, they lose their meaning. Understanding animal-related idiomatic phrases is essential, as it helps in effective communication and understanding the English language. These phrases are commonly used in day-to-day conversations. Knowing their meanings will help you understand the intended message accurately without confusion or misinterpretation. Animal idioms add flavor to language and make it more interesting. They often have a humorous or playful element that makes them memorable and enjoyable to use. For instance, when pigs fly means something is impossible, while the cat's out of the bag means a secret has been revealed. Using such idioms in the correct way can make one seem more fluent and knowledgeable in a language. Learning animal-related idiomatic phrases can be an integral part of vocabulary learning, as it helps your effective communication while adding charm to your language. But please, learn to use them correctly and in the right situation. That wraps up Idioms with Animals Part 2. I hope you're as busy as a beaver studying all these idioms. Until next time, it's Herbert Lee saying bye for now.